My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's business launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
I'm on South Wabash in Chicago, Illinois, and we're gonna go talk to John, who started Chicago Pizza Tours. Now, when John left his cushy sales job and bought a bus, everyone thought he was crazy. But after only a few years and thousands of pizzas later, John was definitely able to get his piece of the pie. Let's go find out how.
The history of bus tours in North America began in the early 20th century when trucks were converted to provide a means for sightseeing within large cities. The largest sightseeing operations began in 1910 as many large bus companies saw an alternative use for their buses. This industry has re-emerged as an alternative to driving and having the ability to learn facts about a city. John took advantage of the Chicago tourism market and was able to apply it to the history of Chicago pizza culture, a subject that he is very familiar with.
My name is Jonathan Porter. I'm the owner of Chicago Pizza Tours, and as far as the mission statement is, I have one, I just can't remember what it is. Our slogan is to see Chicago one slice at a time, though.
What was it that you learned about Chicago or about pizza on this tour?
Really, I'm from Philadelphia, so coming to Chicago is, I love the energy and just being with people that love pizza and didn't know that there was that many types of pizza. So.
Right.
As you can see in front of you, we got the itineraries. The 4 restaurants that are highlighted are the 4 we're going to go to today. We're going to try a variety of different pizzas today. So is it safe to assume we all like pizza here? Yeah. Would it be safe to assume we all love pizza? Or else we probably wouldn't have signed up for a tour that takes us for the next 3 or so hours and makes us eat pizza at 4 different stops.
What is Chicago Pizza Tours?
Started Chicago Pizza Tours about a little over 3 years ago.
So the whole premise of Chicago Pizza Tours was to design a tour based around the most defining food and get people to meet in kind of a central area downtown, get them on the bus and get them out of that downtown area out into the neighborhoods. So they really get a chance to see Chicago, the way that the locals do. And we wanted to showcase different types of pizza so that you get a real flavor of, it was a real foodie tour. I went to school at Eastern Illinois. It was my college that I went to. And after college, moved downtown, with all the friends. What I had is this whole list of college friends that would come down and visit me on the weekends. They were from all different suburbs and all that. And usually whenever they would come down, I would always drag them to 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 even pizzerias when they would visit.
How did you come to be affiliated with John at Chicago Pizza Tours?
We went to college together.
Wow, small world. Huh?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We were in a fraternity together.
He had no idea you had a pizza place and you had no idea.
Coincidence.
Wow. Yeah.
He came in, loved our pizza. He said, when you expand, I could do 3 to 4 tours a day. Between us and him, just a great relationship, and he's been blowing us up.
I was always, showcasing as much pizza as I could because there were so many just classic places and new ones that were opening up too. So that's really what kind of got me started with this, was showing my college friends, some of the places that I liked. After that, I had my regular 9-to-5 job in sales.
What did you do for a living?
I sold promotional products. So anything you put a corporate logo on, whether it be shirt, hats, pens, awards, all that good stuff. But things were going great with that. I loved it. It's a family business and all that. But sometime around 2008 or so, you just started losing all your customers. And I wasn't really losing them to competitors of mine or anything. I was just, they didn't have the budget for it.
The bottom fell out.
Exactly, yeah. It was the first thing that got cut.
turned to my wife. I said, hey, why don't we take the money that we had saved up all this time, why don't we just go out and buy a bus and build a website and start taking strangers out for pizza? So,
Oh, that's hilarious.
yeah.
What did she say?
Well, she thought I was nuts.
Tourism spending added more than $11.8 billion to Chicago's local economy in 2012.
Taking out a loan was the plan all along.
Okay.
But when you go to a bank and say, listen, I need a loan because I'm going to buy a bus and then I'm going to take people to different pizza restaurants and feed them. So it was a good thing that I had saved my money. You know, my wife and I had saved our money. So we dipped into our personal funds to set up the company you have.
Did you write a business plan?
Of course. Yeah,
You did?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Even though you borrowed the money from yourself, why did you write a business plan?
That was just one of the first things you do when you're starting a business. You know, I knew that other people were going to look for it too, like insurance companies and the bank. But I think we wrote the business plan, my wife and I, prior to any of that. So.
How integral was the website, and how much has social media really changed the dynamic of your business?
My website is our storefront.
Okay.
You know, so it's all about, you know, marketing, getting people to be able to find your website, whether it be through social media or review sites. You know, we're very fortunate that a lot of people that find us like to leave remarks about what they thought about the tour, and other people can find that and say, boy, I never would have heard of something like this.
I really enjoyed the mix of, you know, good food and good culture, because I think that's really what's happening in this city in a lot of ways, and you get a taste of both of them on this tour for sure.
The Chicago deep dish pizza was invented by Ike Sewell of Pizzeria Uno, but a 1956 article from the Chicago Daily News asserts that Uno's original pizza chef, Rudy Malnati, developed the recipe.
How many of your people are actual Chicago residents that stick to their neighborhood and they don't want to venture outside? How much of that are you getting, people that want to see other parts of the city?
You know, 40% were local, and especially in the winter when the colder months came out, people were getting sick of staying in the house all, and they said, you know what? Let's go do this pizza tour thing real quick. That was the thing that surprised me the most when we first started. I mean, everything about this tour was geared towards the tourists.
Say that I'm working a job, underemployed, unemployed, not that happy with what it is that I'm doing in life, but I always had this harebrained crazy idea that I absolutely have no clue about what to do or how to do it. What would you say, what advice would you give me?
You got to get to work. You got to do all the work behind the scenes. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of, while you're still working somewhere else, then you're working nights to figure out all the logistics of whatever it is that you're doing.
Restaurant tours, like I said, from all over the city come here to get their meat and their produce each week. This neighborhood's really blossomed in the past few years. They've been turning old warehouses into loft apartments, and like I said, like restaurants been popping up, and so it's become a nice little neighborhood here in just the past few years. It's an estimated 3 million visitors a year will come out to this neighborhood just to take a picture in front of the Harpo Studio sign. So it's just slightly higher than Chicago pizza tours, just slightly.
So who knew that taking people out for pizza would become such a wildly successful business? John's a perfect example of how you can turn a passion into a living, no matter who says your idea is a little bit cheesy. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Chicago Pizza Tours. What do you call organic food? What did they call organic food in 1950?
No idea.
Food.
Exactly. Exactly.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's business launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online